Micah Parsons is one of my favorite people to cover because his personality is big and bold and unforgettable. And obviously, he's one of the most talented pass rushers in the NFL. And it was a crushing blow, not just for him personally, but for the Green Bay Packers last year in week 15 when he tore his ACL and his meniscus. And you could hear that massive thud. Packers. I also have a connection to the Packers because my dad's side of the family is all from Wisconsin, and my Grammy, until she passed away at 100, would give me her perspective on the Packers. This would be Grammy Helen's analysis. I don't think they're trying very hard. I mean, sometimes she was right. So I covered my first game at Lambeau Field going back, say 3-4 years ago. And it's like going to Wrigley Field in Chicago or going to Fenway Park in Boston. It's unique. It's got so much tradition and the fans bring it even for preseason games. So with the Packers, they had a lot of buzz and excitement and felt like there was something special, even in what was a very crowded and competitive race for the NFC North division title a year ago. Think about it. The Chicago Bears in year 2 of Caleb Williams, year 1 of Ben Johnson, they were able to grab that division title in just 12 months after the Lions and the Vikings had gone back and forth and had really made it a battle all the way to the end of what was the 2024 season. And so that division seen a ton of turnover in a lot of different places, but at the top of the division, it's pretty cool to see those battles. Micah Parsons, a major reason why you could see potentially a shifting and the Packers feeling like they could compete, not just for the division title, but ultimately for a Super Bowl again. They love what they've got in Jordan Love. And I know their receiving core has been through a lot of injuries, but also a lot of changes. The Packers felt like Micah Parsons was the key to them catapulting into contention. And he was awesome last year. He not only does he bring a locker room presence and a ton of energy, right? So I think about him like the Energizer Bunny, or this explosive presence that every time he gets on the field, not only do you have to put 2 guys on him, but you can expect him to try something new. He is very versatile. He loves being creative with his position and the spin moves and just the cerebral approach that he has to it, and trying to outsmart the guys across the line from him. The way he moves around and the freedom that he has as a pass rusher, is pretty impressive. And so he is a force on the field, and it was such a devastating loss for the Packers so late in the year. But not just for the Packers. The fact is that when you tear knee ligaments in week 15, it's going to take you some time to get back on the field. Think about Patrick Mahomes and why there's so many questions about whether or not Patrick will be ready for the first game of the regular season. Don't know if we'll see him in preseason. It's not something that's necessary for a Patrick Mahomes. But the fact that he tore his ACL late in the year, not quite as late as Micah Parsons, but he has been cleared for full football activity in training camp, which is a big step forward. If you follow sports and athletes who tear their ACLs, it's a common injury. And there are athletes who have world-class facilities and technology to help them rehab and recover, but also they're young, they're in the prime of their careers, and their bodies heal more quickly. There are some who have come back. I think Adrian Peterson is a great example, who's come back in 9 months. And you've got other guys who've come back from devastating injuries. Even now, Achilles injuries, they used to be at least a year and then some. And think about Jason Tatum with the Boston Celtics and how quickly he came back from that injury. So as the technology and the science advances, as teams and franchises spend more and more money and invest more and more resources in helping their athletes heal, you see these incredible recoveries. And I have no doubt that Micah Parsons is giving it the same energy and the same gusto with which we see him on the field, right? He's approaching rehab the same exact way, same as what you would see from a Patrick Mahomes and expect from a Mahomes. And so we saw what Micah was able to do on the field before he got injured. 12 and a half sacks, lots of tackles, obviously, but disruptions, really, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, just the way that he creates a mess out there for offenses and opposing offenses. And the more he absorbs and the more he learns and the more experience he gets, the tougher it's going to be, which is why sometimes you see athletes who are getting older, they're wiser, they're craftier. Maybe they don't have that same explosive first step, but they're still dangerous because of all they've seen and experienced on the field. So to lose Micah Parsons was devastating, but I love hearing that he has got some plans, he's moving forward, and that we should see him on the field relatively soon. So one of the things that Micah was asked at training camp on Tuesday was about these last couple months and trying to get back on the field and feeling like he's approaching that point at which, he can increase his activity level. So it's good to hear him talk about actual football.
I made a lot of, I'm running, I'm moving around. I'm at a plyo stage. I'm in my plyos, and next thing to conquer is after we finish D-cell we'll be change direction, and hopefully we accomplish that by and 6 weeks. We got 6 weeks. We're blocking each phase off in the 6-week phase, so we're right where we should be, and as a training staff and myself, we're excited and happy where I'm at, and just excited to keep working.
I love that. I love to hear that they've got a plan. Of course, they've got a plan, short-term plan, long-term plan. And as I say, Micah is attacking this phase of his recovery because no one wants to get back on the field more than he does. All right, so this is kind of funny too. And I love his sense of humor. As I tell you, he's one of my favorite guys to cover in sports. And he's got his own podcast, which at times I've listened to. I think he's highly entertaining. And he's a guy that you will definitely see if he desires in a TV booth post-career. But he also has some control over his own kind of media empire, if you will, that he's building, because that's one of his goals for the future. He was asked by one of the reporters as he's doing this press conference about a teammate, Baron Sorrell, claiming that he has the best hands on the Packers defense.
I mean, the speed and explosiveness, that I'll take that, but the hands, I mean, if it was like a drop, like he dropped in the hook and picked off a nice little jumped in the air screen, but off a screen, I don't know if I'm gonna give him. That's like a lob. That's like you out in the backyard playing with your friends. Like, I can't give him best hands off of that. Like,
but he said he has receiver and tight end background early on.
I'm not gonna lie. Do y'all believe that? like, there's no film to back this. Of those, like, we can look at my running back film. Like, there's proof of that. Like, I got to see proof. I got to see ability of you, like, head topping somebody. Like, we need to see how good that skill was at receiver and tight end that he claims.
So you don't believe that?
No, because on his huddle, I just see defensive end. We saw defensive end, nothing more.
Good stuff. It's one of my favorite things about the way that media is now. I know it can be so invasive and it can be so annoying at times when these guys can't get away from microphones and get away from cameras. But at the same time, it gives us more of an understanding of who they are, especially when they become comfortable in their own skin and their sense of humor. And also that's where their own social media platforms like a podcast might come into. You get to hear and see them in a different forum. Now, Mike is comfortable in front of a mic because he's done it a lot. Some guys are more rigid or they've been trained in how to reproach and how to reproach, how to approach, although reproach to the media, and how to manage that and just get out from in front of the camera as quickly as possible. But there are some guys who enjoy it. And I dare say that with Micah spending as many months as he has rehabbing, not being able to express himself on the field, he's learned more, he's watched more, he's seen more, he's absorbed more, and that's going to make him an even better player. All right, one more from Micah, and this is something that is definitely of interest to NFL fans, not just those who wear green and gold, but also those who root for Micah Parsons' former team, the Cowboys. And I think I don't speak out of turn when I say for the rest of us as well, looking looking ahead to week 6 between the team that traded him and the team that now has Micah Parsons services. Will he be ready to go in week 6 against Dallas?
Yeah, I think it's very realistic. I just gotta, well, as me and the staff we gotta put the work in. We gotta get to the point where I'm feeling great and we all say, Micah, you'll be in a really good phase. Is it possible? Yes. So I wouldn't say it's not possible, but at the same time, in these next, how many weeks is that?
It's week 6.
10 weeks? What is it, 10, 12 weeks from now? I don't know. We got to do our part to make it possible, but, it's not off the board, but we got to put the work in.
I love it. Good stuff with Micah Parsons. I am definitely rooting for him to get back on the field. And while I'm not the host or the sports broadcaster who has schedules memorized, that's just not me. I sometimes don't even know who's playing as we get to Wednesday of the upcoming week because I'm so absorbed in the previous week that I really don't turn the page until it's Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I start to look ahead. I know some of you who play fantasy football are probably obsessing over it, or if you want to buy tickets, you maybe pick a game on the road for your favorite team that's a travel destination. The international games now, that makes a difference, of course, because they're fans and families who want to go to Australia. Wouldn't that be great to see an NFL game? Though, to be honest, if I'm going to Australia, if my husband and I plan that trip, which we would love to, Australia, New Zealand, it's probably not going to be for a football game. But whether it's London or Germany or Brazil or Mexico, maybe it is Australia. A lot of fans like to plan these trips around football games. But I had to look it up because I don't know the Packers schedule by heart. They do start out with a fair number of games that will challenge them. So the very first one is a division game, which is crazy, at Minnesota. Wouldn't you love to have Micah Parsons ready then? Then it's at the Jets. So they actually begin with 3 of their first 4 games. So 3 games in their opening month are on the road. They are home with the Falcons on a Thursday night, and then they've got a trip to Tampa. So think about that. Minnesota, not a real extensive road trip, but then to New York and back. They host the Falcons to Tampa and back. And on the heels of that first month, Bears, the reigning division champion in the North, and there's the Cowboys game right behind that. I just want to state for the record again in this forum that I never would have traded Micah Parsons, not in a million years. I will root for him. I'll be excited for him wherever he goes because I think he's terrific ambassador for football, for himself, and for the Packers too now. Okay, get your questions in. I think that we've got a healthy stream going right now with comments. I love seeing your greetings and your good mornings and letting me know that you're with us inside of an hour until Ask Amy Anything. So whether it's online, Facebook page, or whether it's my Twix account or X account, because Zach will check those out too. And then also here on the live stream, you get to ask Amy anything. I know you've missed it. I know you can't wait. It's weird too, because I feel like I should be throwing out a phone number, but that's not something we do here on a live YouTube stream. So you got to reach us digitally. Thanks for hanging out. Good to have you with us on the hump day. All in with Amy Lawrence on YouTube and Rogue Media Network.